So school just started just a few days ago for most of us, I believe, September 1st is when school starts for most of us, right? And I'm talking as in Lithuania and Europe. I don't know how it is for the Americans. Maybe it starts on the same day or maybe it starts a little bit earlier, but that's not the point, right? So school just started. And the thing is, I'm a sophomore now in high school, feeling kind of cool. I'm not a freshie no more. I'm not gonna get picked on, but I didn't even get picked on as a freshie. Like it's not even that deep, bro. For all of y'all that are going to be freshmen next year, don't even think about it. If you ain't some freaking dude who talks a lot of smack or a girl who talks a lot of smack and tries to act cool, you ain't gonna get no bad nothing from anybody, because everybody who is in high school, still staying in high school, most likely they're gonna stay for the long run. They don't want to get out, and if you do something bad, most likely you're gonna face some consequences that are going to hinder your ability, I guess, to go forward. And yeah, so don't be afraid. And moving along, because I'm gonna yap a bit. It's like a lot of people going into school have this like very negative thought process. Like, dang, it's school. I'm gonna have to go and do homework. I'm gonna go out to lessons. I'm gonna have to see faces that I might not want to see and stuff like that. Blah 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 blah. And I'm out here, and I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm not some, interesting type of dude or anything. I'm just some dude. I consider myself on the same level as Mr. Bean at times because I feel like an alien. But, I just kind of don't really care, in a way. Like, okay, yeah, we're starting school, yeah, whatever. And that's kind of weird, like, because I haven't seen that much around people. Like, a lot of students have this like bad type of energy towards school, like, oh man, school again. And I get that, but at the same time, for me, like, I don't really mind it, to be honest. Probably because I don't really put in any time in it. Because, I mean, okay, guys, looking back on freshman year, I'm gonna just tell you, learning was very minimal. I didn't put in no freaking hours at home, no minutes practically at home. I didn't do like 50, okay, not 50, but like 40% of the homework I didn't do. And I still managed to pass with flying colors. Like, we here in Lithuania, I think most in Europe, we get grades by numbers. You feel me? One to 10. And my overall yearly grade was 7.4. That's not a bad grade, for a dude who was practically doing nothing in school. I mean, I was just listening, sitting in the first, bench thingy, and nothing real crazy was going on. So I was just learning, I guess, what they were teach. I won't kid, guys. I wasn't really learning. But I was just listening, I guess, to the information and not, doing any BS stuff like looking at my phone, scrolling TikTok, or listening to some music on an AirPod, or trying to, disobey the rules in any regard. I was just sitting there, just minding my own business, playing with my pen, writing down some stuff I needed to do. If I can do the work that is needed in the lesson. Obviously, use ChatGPT, bro. ChatGPT was like my number one friend for homework. Yeah, guys. Yeah. So if some way my Lithuanian teacher watches this and knows English and all those thingies about all those books and all those, stories that we have read and all those little writings I did, summarizing the little story, that wasn't me, that was AI. That was ChatGPT, so whoopsie guys, sorry. Outed myself here. It was ChatGPT. But yeah, it did a really good job. So basically, ChatGPT, common sense, and just not being a doofus kind of made me pass freshman year. And I don't really feel as if sophomore year is very complex. Like, okay, this year is actually going to be pretty hard because of one fact. There are going to be two exams that you need to pass to go on to junior and senior years, right? They call the PUP, the PUPP, right? and they come from, Lithuanian and math, because I'm Lithuanian, right? Lithuanian math. And you do those two little exams, and if you get a grade that's, I think, above, is it 30 or 40%, you pass, and if you don't, you don't pass. And if you don't pass, GG's, bro. Good luck. Good luck finding another school, because my school, they ain't taking nobody. And I think for most of Lithuanian schools, if you fail a PUPP, they ain't letting you stay there for any reason. So that's one thing that I'm kind of worried about. Everyone's super worried about it. I'm kind of like, I guess it's gonna be quite a difficult thing to pass, but I got a little math teacher on the side to help me as well. I'm learning it at home one time a week. At least that's the plan. I haven't started this year yet, but that's what I was doing freshman year. One little 45-minute Google Meet, you know, and it worked really well. I got like a seven yearly grade on math, so it's pretty cool. Um, yeah, and so I think I'll pass math. I think I'll pass math somehow. Lithuanian is going to be quite hard because although, I use ChatGPT and all that sometimes, most of the times in freshman year, I still can write. Like, I write big essays because I'm a writer, I'm a talker. I want to yap, I want to talk. So that's not going to be very hard, but it's just the fact is that I I write in a way that the the judges, right? They wouldn't like that because it goes, I guess, against the style laws of Lithuanian language, and the Lithuanian freaking, what's it called, grammar. Yeah, grammar. It goes against those laws, but I just like writing that way. I like being a little freaking rebel, guys. I like being a little rebel. I don't know why is that, but I just like being a little rebel sometimes. And so that might be a problem. That might be an issue. But yeah, the PUPPs ain't even the biggest part here, right? In order to pass on to junior year, you also need to get 40 social hours. Like, you need, what I mean social hours, for those who don't know, it's basically you going out, volunteering, helping somebody for like some non-profit or whatever, like organization type stuff, for them to write you that you did something, and write social hours, I guess, that you did something outside of school. And you need 40 of those throughout the 2 years, freshman and sophomore. I got 6. So that's not very cool. That's not very good, guys. That's not very good. I need 34 more hours to pass the junior year. So that's going to be the biggest problem. And also, you cannot get a negative grade. What is a negative grade? A grade below 4 is considered negative, out of the scale of 1 to 10. So if you have one average in one of two of these, how do we call them, like half a year grade thingies, I don't know how to call them, but they basically, you have the yearly grade, and then you have the first half of the year, and then the second half of the school year. I don't know, it works like that, and they sum it up for that one yearly grade. So if any of those 1/2 year thingies, you have one negative average, you are effed. You are freaking crossed out of the lists, or at least moved very back, on those lists to move on to third grade. So dang, it's kind of hardcore. But, also, even though my physics were kind of on the low end, I'm going to tell you, I was kind of like a 3.8, which is still considered positive, but it's considered on the edge because, they round up, so it's a 4. So if you have a 3.5, I guess you're good, but like you're barely good. You're probably still not going to be high on the lists if you have a few of those 3.5s. Pardon. So yeah, that might be some trouble. Physics is not my thing. Chemistry is also not my thing, but it's better than physics. So I'll be fine. But yeah, most of people, going back to my point, most of the people are very worried for this year. And all those teachers, we've been having this, the first week of school, we've been having a lot of lessons. There's just introductions to what we're going to do this year. And I get it. We sign a lot of papers, like, oh, do you agree with this? Yeah, sure, I guess I agree with this. I guess I agree with the system, right? And they keep telling us, oh, guys, this year, that's it, bro. If you do one wrong thing, bro, boom, you're dead. You're dead in our eyes. Go look for another school, bro. Like, that's it. You're GG's. So, I guess it's kind of hard, but I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest. I'll just do what I need to do to get by. And obviously, there's a lot of people that look at school very seriously and very, like, meticulously, I guess the word is, or I don't know. And do their homework and all this and all that. Like, oh man, what's gonna happen if I don't do it? I don't know. I don't really have that, guys. I guess I'm just a chill guy. I guess I'm just a very chill guy. And, thanks, I guess, for my talent or some sort to just absorb a little bit of information and, like, use, I guess, my common sense a little bit to get good grades without really trying. I mean, come on, that's purely luck. Like, I'm just lucky to have that 7.4 freshman year, right? And so I don't know how sophomore year is going to go, but I feel like I'm actually going to give it a go. Like, I'm actually going to try a little bit. I want to see how that goes. Because I always thought to myself, hey, if I'm not really trying and I'm getting like 7s yearly grades, that's not bad, right? And some people who do try get like not even 7s, but also they don't try really, really hard, but they do try. And I'm like thinking, what happens if I would try? So maybe this year I will try and get some like freaking 8. Imagine I have an 8 sophomore year, bro. That would be crazy because I have never had an 8 average as a yearly grade, I don't think. No, 7th grade, I finished with a 7.58, which I guess is an 8, but I want like an 8. You feel me? Not a rounded up 8, but like an